Calm this morning after another night of heated demonstrations in Minneapolis and more than a dozen other cities across the country.
In Minnesota, the state's full National Guard has been mobilized. This move follows days of chaos in Minneapolis.
From the Pentagon, with the Army's plan to stop the riots.
Minnesota's governor says he had spoken to top Pentagon brass and more help could be on the way to his state to quell the violence.
So as you saw this expand across the United States, and you start to see whether it be domestic terrorism, whether it be ideological extremists to fan the group, or whether it be international destabilization of how our country works, those elements are present in all of this. I spoke early this morning with the Secretary of Defense, Esper, and with the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Milley, extensively to update on the situation, receive their situation report as they're seeing it across the country, and to suggest courses of action of going forward. In consultation with the mayors and the resources they have, and just to be very clear as you witness this, whether it be New York or Denver or Louisville or Las Vegas, there is no mayor in America that has the resources to push back on an organized attempt to destabilize civil society with no regard for life or property.
Let's go. I gotta find this. Law enforcement tonight. Hey, we're still live, okay. Paul, we gotta walk this way, brother. Hey, flip around. Be easy, brother.
So in consultation as a group and as we set this morning, I'm authorizing and talking to General Jensen to fully mobilize the Minnesota National Guard, an action that has never been taken in the 164-year history of the Minnesota National Guard. We will pull in assets as we have been doing, and for those Minnesotans who are wondering, where are the fire trucks? Where are the police that are out there? The situation was so broad and the tactics were so bent on causing destruction that every single person we had mobilized, again, the largest in state history last evening, was engaged in that.
So you can see the crowd has started to gather, taking a look at sort of the spectacle of this. It's really pretty incredible for a lot of folks here. This is not something that you expect to see here in Northeast Minneapolis. This is, or any part of Minneapolis. We don't tend to see military vehicles coming into our police precincts, but this is where we're at tonight.
Jeff, what's up? Jeff.
So we were just in the Kmart parking lot. We were about to show you how all of the cars left in the parking lot had their tires slashed. And just now, it appears law enforcement has showed up in some capacity, and we're just ducking right now. They're going by in these vehicles, shooting at people, shooting at the people and the protesters. I don't know what you want to call them, the people that are breaking curfew. And that's a stark contrast from the day before when this was kind of the looters' playground, where there was no control and there were fires burning. And so as we were beginning to report on that, that's when someone pointed out, hey, look at every single car's tires in this parking lot. All of them slashed. Again, no one told me if they witnessed who did it. The people here believe law enforcement did it. Excuse me. There's no way for us to confirm that, because if I tried to walk towards law enforcement to ask, I would have been told to go home or been shot at. And so as we were waiting to just report on that, again, is when that group came through and was firing on the people who were breaking curfew. We thought that the law enforcement had left. There was a strong presence of National Guard, I believe, around the parking lot. And then all of a sudden we went back to our cars, came back to the parking lot, and the next thing you knew, there's probably like 50 people walking around in it. People checking on their cars, driving away, suddenly realizing all of their tires are flat. And in the midst of that, those two vehicles pulled up, all black SUVs with minimal lights. There was some flashing lights, but not on the top of the vehicle. and then began shooting at the people who were out past curfew.
Well, I've heard that phrase for a long time. I don't know where it came from, where it originated. I view that phrase as...
In 1967, the Miami police...
Well, I don't know. I've also heard from many other places, but I've heard it for a long time, as most people have. And frankly, it means when there's looting, people get shot and they die. And if you look at what happened last night and the night before, you see that. It's very common. And that's the way that was meant, and that's the way I think it was supposed to be meant. But I don't know where it came from. I don't know where it originated. I wouldn't know a thing like that. But I will say it's very accurate in the sense that when you do have looting, like you had last night, people often get shot and they die, and that's not good, and we don't want that to happen. Yep.
Wow, what they're doing to him. What they're doing to him. Oh, shit! You got hit? Oh, they hit the car. Slow down, bro. Man, go home. Damn! I see they bust the window out. No, I hit the car, though. They said, get him. I caught it all.
You can see how quiet and how eerie it is out here on the streets of South Minneapolis. In general, what we found is either there's a huge crowd and a protest or something like that, or there's nothing going on, because you're either in the middle of it, in the apex of it, or you're left alone. Both of them are a little bit unsettling. When there's no one around, you feel the eeriness of it. When everyone's around, you're not sure who the good guys are and who the bad guys are, and that's all you're seeing here. It's either a mass crowd and a mass movement, or it's no one, as you can see right here, and it is quiet and dark and just strange.
No, there's more. Look at this. They just keep coming.
Go inside! Get inside! Get inside! Get inside! Get in your house now! Let's go! Light him up! Go inside now! Get in the house!
Get in, get in, get in, get in, get in, get in! Get in!
Oh, God, that hurt. You good?
Are you okay?
Right on the fucking crotch.
Are you okay? You got hit?
I'm good. They're fucked for that, dude. What?